Well, folks, this is my latest creation right here. Going to be not actually test flying. It's one of probably my 7th or 8th test flight on this plane. But this is the first time I'm using a hat cam, so this is kind of new to me. And I hope everybody's patient with me, and I'm hoping it looks pretty good. By the way, this here's my FPV backpack. Won't be using the pack itself, just brought it out to carry my transmitter and stuff. Alright, let's go through what the plane has. Right, it's kind of a combination of several airplanes I've built. Looks kind of like the Skywalker. It's got a flat bottom skid, wide skid, which I kind of took off of my Snowbird so that I can take off and land on grass easily. The tail boom there, that design comes from Experimental Airlines drone, which is kind of a strong way to make a tail boom like that. And then the wing is just a plain high lift wing. You should put this down so you can see the profile. It's 60 inches long, full span ailerons, and as you can see, it's got a very, very thick wing to maximize lift. She's not very fast, but for 60 inches it carries a lot of weight. The plane fully loaded with my FPV gear weighs about 5.5 pounds, and the motor here is a 890 kV motor turning a 11 by 8 prop, which is a pretty big prop, very efficient though. With a 4-cell 5,000 milliamp pack, it flies a total of 24 minutes, which isn't too bad for this setup. Good long range flight for FPV. As you can see here, the assembly is really easy. I kind of did this so it's easier to carry in and out of the car, because it is so big. What you have here is just your Y connector for your ailerons, and that's it. And a little guide wood. Put these wood and guide it into the fuselage and keep it lined up. Hook up the connection straight to the receiver. Right now I don't have my FPV gear on here because I'm still testing this. I'm trying to work out some of the kinks. And the wing is held on with rubber bands, which makes it a nice, strong, simple way to attach the wing. I usually put 6 to 8 rubber bands on an airplane depending on the weight. This one here isn't too heavy, so I kind of just go with 6. I cross 2 of them, and then the rest I put from front to back. This wing is pretty long from nose to trailing edge, so the rubber bands get to stretch out quite a bit. They don't really last long when you stretch them out that far. So I'll probably figure I'll get about 10 flights per set of bands. It's so inexpensive though, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, here's my 4-cell 5,000 milliamp battery. Plenty of juice to get this thing going and get it off the ground. It's got excellent lift. Okay, this thing climbs very fast. I have a 2200 milliamp 3-cell battery in there just to as a ballast to kind of simulate what my FPV gear is going away, so this way I'll get a really good idea how she's going to fly at full weight. Okay. Check to see that our battery is full. Yep, we got a full battery. Now, like I said, I'm just going to be using the internal Spectrum transmitter and receiver. I'm not doing the Dragon Link. I don't usually do that when I'm testing an airplane, so. Okay, make sure all our buttons are up. And then we power it up. As you can see inside here, there's plenty of room. More than really necessary, but the reason why I did it this way so that I have a wide bottom for stability on the grass so she doesn't tilt over. Yet in my prior test flights I found it still tends to want to tilt to one side or the other depending on the condition of the grass. That's something I'm going to work on fixing before I start going FPV. So my goal is to be able to take off under the goggles, and that's interesting. I've done that once before. It's really hairy, but it can be done. Okay, now we find my balance points. Okay, I got it nicely balanced there. One thing about Hershey bar wings is they're real easy to figure out the CG. I use 25%, so you just take your you can either use a calculator or you know, one of them programs that calculate it for you, or you could with the Hershey bar you just measure back 25% of the distance from the nose to the trailing edge. Okay, thing seems to be working. Yeah, let me put my pack out of her way. Maybe do a little taxi, see how she handles on the ground here. As you can see, she tilts over at slow speed. Once she gets going, the ailerons kind of take over and keep it level. It's just the first second or so of the run where it becomes a problem. So the best thing is to find as flat a surface as possible. She needs full up elevator in the run, otherwise the nose will dig into the grass and she'll never take off. Once airborne, you got to quickly let go of the stick, otherwise she'll porpoise up and then stall. Alright, let's give this a try and see how she flies. There she goes. She climbs very fast. Very, very fast. Plane weighs about 5.5 pounds. The motor produces 7 pounds of thrust. So I haven't tried it, but technically this should be able to go vertical. I don't know if the design would allow it, but if it was a jet, it would definitely climb vertically. She cruises at half throttle, really nice. Stays well above the stall speed. And at half throttle, now I won't bore you with a really long video, but at half throttle it will cruise for 24 minutes. My intention there is to fly 20 minutes and leave a 4-minute reserve. There's I'm kind of new to FPV, and I find that my first attempt at landing usually results in a go-around, so I want to have plenty of power left so that I can have a few opportunities to go around and do it right. Okay. Now, like I said, this is the first time using a hack cam, so I'm hoping that I'm pointing in the proper direction. If it's wobbly or doesn't seem right, bear with me. I suppose I'll figure out a technique there. Now I've got this ball field. It's got this protective netting here, which is great for baseball, keep people safe, but terrible for airplanes. So I'm going to walk into a position where I can have a better view of my landing and kind of keep out of the sun. There we go. She's extremely stable, especially in bank, because I've got quite a bit of dihedral. Well, I've got a good amount of dihedral. From center to wingtip, it's about an inch. So you bank it and it instantly comes back. See, she comes right back on her own. Pitch is a little, it's pretty good. She tends to, when she's flying slow, she tends to want to porpoise up and down. I just think that's because there's not enough air running over the tail, and the tail's probably stalling. So half throttle is the best setting. She stalls at a setting of about quarter throttle, so I know never to go down below that in normal flight unless I'm on a descent, especially with the stabilization pack that comes with the OSD. If you get too slow, she'll want to stay level and she'll stall real quick, and you don't want to stall an airplane while it's under stabilization, because the OSD doesn't know it's stalling it, and it just exaggerates the stall and puts the plane into a spin, which kind of corkscrews it right into the ground. Now I haven't put the OSD on it yet, so I'm just guessing she's cruising at around 25 miles an hour. I'm hoping for a little better, but I'd settle on 25. That's not bad. It's good FPV speed. She'll get somewhere in a hurry. Now I could full throttle it, or go up to 3/4 throttle like this here. She wants to climb. As soon as you give it throttle, you gotta trim it down. That's 3/4 throttle. She's very responsive for such a big wing. I've been able to do rolls with it without any problem. Let's see, we get it up high enough to do a demonstration here. There you go. I mean, it's not the best roll. That's probably doing that because I have the rudder mixed in with the ailerons to make my life a little easier. So it's putting too much rudder input there for a nice flat roll. Now she is kind of heavy and got short wings, so she tends to come in a little faster than I'd like. So you gotta set yourself up a little farther out. And she does glide very well, so she uses up a lot of space. See, she's getting slow now, so you can see how she's porpoising up and down. I think the autopilot will take care of that to keep that from happening, and I'll have a much smoother approach. Okay, we're going to come in over this tree here and then see if I can get it to drop in. There we go. This should be okay. Yeah, this is going to be a nice little landing. That was sweet. That was one of my better landings. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. Like I said, I'm not going to bore you with the long extended flight, but I want to give everybody a look-see my latest creation. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you got any comments, go ahead and post them down below. Thank you.